Okay. So good afternoon, students. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing fine, everyone. All right. So today we are on to our last class of business economics, wherein we will be speaking about business cycle. A very easy chapter. If you ask me, the chapter is very easy. And the secret to doing well in this chapter lies in what I have told about other chapter as well. Read between the lines, read each and every word of institute's material. Okay. In today's class, I will try to complete, obviously I will complete everything, but then after the class, your homework would be to read each and every word. Okay. Let's go. Sir, what is business cycle? Friends, let me take you straight away to the year of COVID. Let's say around 2020, COVID came and its impact, lasted around till 21. Okay. Now, this was the COVID phase. Businesses before this phase or economy in general, Indian economy or the world economy in general was doing very well before COVID. Everybody had jobs, or if not everybody, most of the people had jobs. People had employment levels were high, output level was good, production was great, tourism was great, everything was great. But as soon as it struck, COVID struck, businesses fell down to their bottommost points, and gradually we saw in 22 or 23, businesses reviving and coming back up. This upswing that you see, where everything is going well in the economy with the businesses, and this downswing that you see, where everything is going bad, this, set of upswings and downswings is called business cycle. This set of upswing and downswing, dear students, is called business cycle. I hope all of you got it. Okay, very good. Very good. So what is basically business cycle? Business cycle is the alternate, if you want the keywords, business cycle is the alternate expansion and contraction in the business activities due to economy. Due to economy. Due to what? Due to economy. Due to economic cycles. Sometimes economies are in good phase, sometimes they are in bad phase. But such upswing or good phases or expansion and such bad phases called downswings, or what should we say, contractionary period or periods of depression, are what we call as business cycle. Alternate expansion and contraction. Understood, everybody? Yes, sir. I hope everyone is crystal clear with this. Yes, sir. I hope everyone is crystal clear with it. Right, sir? We are crystal clear with it. Very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. So let me explain you. If the economies, okay, if the economies, this is time period, see, time is flowing, and with time, if GDP levels, okay, gross domestic product or national income levels are rising, that is a phase of expansion. That phase is a phase of expansion. And every business or every economy at some point in their life will reach the peak. Peak is the topmost phase. And beyond peak, there is only one thing that can happen, which is fall, contraction or downswing. But sometimes the condition is so poor, everyone. But sometimes the condition is so poor that an economy reaches the bottom. That is called trough. This bottom phase is called trough. But then gradually what happens? The economy rises again, and the process and the thing continues. This phase can also be called a recovery or an expansion phase. And the cycle continues, everybody. And the cycle continues, everybody. This alternate expansion and contraction is called business cycle. I will discuss it in details, but I hope you get the idea. This alternate expansion plus contraction is known as trade cycle or business cycle. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everyone. Come on, everybody. Yes or no in the chat box, please. Very, very good. Yes, all businesses will encounter this cycle, and all the basically economies will encounter this cycle at some point in their life or the other. No one can escape these phases. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You cannot escape these phases. Hopefully it's crystal clear, everyone. Yes, sir, it's crystal clear. Very good. So friends, here are the 4 phases we speak about. 4 phases. Number 1 is called the expansion phase, where everything is rising. Economic activity is getting better. Output levels are rising, employment levels are rising. It is also called upswing. It is also called upswing. It is also called boom. And then it reaches a maximum point. Such a phase is called peak. This phase is also called boom. This phase is also called boom. And then prosperity phase. Prosperity phase. Where everything is at the topmost level. And beyond this, there is only one thing that can happen. You can go down. Contraction. Contraction is called downswing or recession, where everything is going down. Contraction. And finally is the phase where you are at your bottom. That is the trough, the COVID times. Trough, or you can say in the extreme form, depression. Remember, depression is extreme form of recession. What is depression? Extreme form of recession. Extreme form of recession is depression, everybody. Is it clear, everyone? Come on. Yes, sir, crystal clear. Very good. Very good. Now, friends, let's talk about each phase. Expansion, peak, contraction, trough. Let's talk about each and every phase in a slight more detail, okay? Expansion. Expansion phase. This phase is characterized by increase in national output or national income, as you call it. Employment levels rise. Rise. There is a rise in aggregate demand. There is a rise in aggregate demand in the economy. Understood, everyone? investments take place, good amount of investment. People start investing. Now see, this Shark Tank, shows like Shark Tank we see in India, which were earlier in US and UK. Why? Because India is also moving towards a better phase. Good amount of investments are taking place in the economy. Good amount of investments are taking place in the economy. Standard of living is improving. You see, there was once a time, like when I was a child, where, some of our friends had internet at their home. You know why? Because not everybody could afford internet. But today, you see, everybody's living standard is such that internet or Wi-Fi connection has become a basic necessity of everyone. That is indicative of improvement in living standards. Today, each one of you almost will have internet connectivity. That time we didn't have internet, means we had internet. But while I was a child, I was used to see not only certain of my friends had this connection stored in their home. So improvement in living standards have taken place. Production has improved. Production has increased. So friends, that is all about, expansion phase. That is all about expansion phase. Do you understand it? Yes or no, everybody? Come on. Right. That is, friends, expansion phase. Friends, that is expansion phase. No, inflation is not expansion. Inflation is a process wherein you see continuous or sustained rise in the general price level. Here it is not talking about inflation. Some level of inflation, see, 2 to 3% is important for the economy to grow. High rate of inflation is not good. And remember, I am talking about expansion, not inflation, not at all. Inflation talks about general price level. I am talking about general economic activity, not price level. Yes, sir, it's crystal clear. Friends, expansion phase hopefully clear. Now, friends, we move on to the next phase, which you call as peak. Peak. Peak is the highest point of, business cycle. Highest point of business cycle. Now, almost when peak stage is reached, demand will stagnate. Actual demand will stagnate. Stagnate means ruk jayega. Because beyond this, it cannot grow further. Actual demand stagnates. Prices are rapidly rising here. Rising. This phase is the end of expansion. The expansion is over now. Now there will be a downfall going to take place. Now there will be a downfall that you will soon see. So peak phase is about to get over. Now what you enter is, come on friends, is referred to as a contraction phase. Contraction phase. Contraction phase में everything is the opposite. Aggregate demand falls. Output level falls. Investment falls, saving increases. You remember the times of COVID where we did not spend much money, rather we were trying to save money. Savings rise. Supply exceeds demand. Now you have more supply than demand. Unemployment. Unemployment rises. People start becoming unemployed. Unemployment rises. orders, people had made orders. These orders are cancelled by the people. जो ऑर्डर लोगों ने दिया था वो ऑर्डर अब कैंसिल कर रहे हैं. Stock prices fall, share market falls. You see, everything happened during the time of COVID. Profits fall. That is friends contraction level. The contraction phase, rather, what not contraction level, rather the contraction phase. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, sir. Yes. And then you hit the depression or the trough phase. If it continues for longer, you hit the phase called the trough or the depression. Bottommost point. Trough and depression. Bottommost point. Bottommost point. Output level falls. Bottommost point. This is the bottommost point. Output level falls. Income level low. Low standard of living. Huge unemployment. Huge unemployment. All these problems, start to occur. This is the trough and the depression phase. And beyond trough and depression, वापस से you have a recovery phase. Recovery phase is nothing but expansion, where you start to expand again, economy tries to build up again. Bas, that is the expansion phase. Friends, now, as per our material, I should tell you one story of the Great Depression. Are you all ready to listen about Great Depression of the 1920s that hit USA and later the rest of the world of late 1920s? Are you all ready, everybody? Are you all ready? Oh, ready. So friends, Great Depression was a point that first affected USA and then rest of the world. So sir, what happened basically? Actually, Great Depression occurred in 1930 exact year. So, but the story begins from 1920s rather, or much earlier. So friends, I am talking to you about 1920s. 1920s was a brilliant period for USA. Brilliant for USA. Brilliant for USA. Why? Because in USA, there was rise in production, there was rise in investment, people got employment, living standards improved in USA, So friends, all this is about the 1920s. Sir, everything seems to be going well. Now what happened was, suppose this is a stock market. Stock market, okay? Or share market as you call it. Now there were two types of people in the stock market investing. One who did their research well and thus invested in the stock market. And the other ones were mere speculators, mere speculators who had no guesswork, which in Hindi we call it tukka lagana. Tukka matlab merely guessing, mere guesswork. So both of these people invested in stock markets, but there is a problem here. Now these people who were doing research, they were making money because they invested in good stocks. Not these people. Now basically what happened was, all companies were generally doing well. All companies were doing well. So what happened was, this group of people who were merely guessing, they thought that if you invest money, it will grow because every company was doing well. Because every company was doing well. Friends, here arises the problem. Here arises the problem. Sir, what is the problem then? Everything seems to be going good. The problem is, suppose, let me give you an example. Suppose I have a mouse in my hand. This is a mouse. Okay? See, suppose this mouse is worth 500 rupees. Okay? Okay. Why will I invest 500 in this mouse? Come on. I will invest 500 because I expect to earn much more than 500 from this mouse. Or at least, if not more, at least recover 500 from this mouse. Yes or no? Yes. Now what happened was, everybody started putting their money into the stocks. Now what happened was, supply of stocks was limited. Stock means shares were limited. But क्योंकि सबके पास पैसा था, because everybody had money back then, demand for shares demand was unlimited. Shares demand was unlimited. Now here arises the problem. Everyone now arises the problem. Sir, what is the problem? See, shares demand was unlimited, but supply shares was limited. And you will tell me, what happens when there is excess demand? Come on, you all will answer me. I am not answering you. Come on, tell me what happens when there is excess demand. Yes. When there is excess demand, prices rise. So what happened was, share prices started rising. Now, actual value, suppose of a share should be rupees 500. Actual value of the share should be rupees 500. But it became, share value became rupees 5,000. Imagine, जिस शेयर का कीमत 500 होना चाहिए था, उस शेयर का कीमत 5,000 हो गया. सोच के देखिए, जिन शेयर का कीमत, the shares whose value should have been rupees 500, its value got to rupees 5,000. Just imagine. Its value got to rupees 5,000. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Friends, therefore, what happened later on? There was a slowdown. Now, when there was a slowdown, People started selling their shares because they needed money. People started selling shares. Why? Because people needed money. People started selling shares. Why? Because they needed money. अब आया main problem. They had invested, suppose, rupees 5,000, but they received in return rupees 500. So loss of 4,500. So everybody was at loss. Everybody was at loss. And my dear students, therefore the economy was now in a state of extreme depression. Very poor situation, because everybody had lost their money that they had earned. Everybody had lost. Depression struck. Depression struck. You know what happened? Just because there was a depression in USA, all the countries, like, suppose this example, Japan, and then there was this Germany, yes, Germany. All these countries were dependent on USA. So that's why if you read your history books, you will find out that during the 1920s, Germany was in a very poor state. So an impact on one country had shaken the entire world. Friends, this is the story of Great Depression. This also shows us that in today's world, impacts are not localized. Impacts are not localized. Means if one country feels the impact, अगर एक कंट्री के ऊपर इम्पैक्ट आता है तो पूरी दुनिया को झेलना पड़ेगा. If one country is impacted in an adverse way, all the world has to bear. Because there is kind of globalization world. We are in the kind of globalization world. Recently there was a G20 summit. If you heard about what was spoken in G20 summit, so our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, he mentioned about the concept of one world. And this entire world should be viewed as one market. So, any impact on one portion is going to impact the others as well. Any impact on one portion is, friends, going to impact the others as well. Hopefully you all understood this much. Friends, this was the story of Great Depression. One more story is written in our institute material. Do you want to listen to that story? Or are you already bored of one story? Okay, great. So friends, yes. Friends, now I take you to another story of the information technology bubble. Information technology bubble. Information technology bubble. Again, unfortunately, the story starts in USA. Friends, it was the period of 1990s. Internet was very new. Friends, and internet was looked as the future. In 1990s, people had predicted that internet is going to be the future. Okay, sir, so now friends, since people had predicted that internet is going to be the future, so sir, to kya? So what happened was, suppose I make a company, okay? I make a company. Let the name of the company be Ashish Kedia. And if I just put .com, it means I'm an internet-based company. My share prices rose. investors were willing to invest. Just because there was a .com means it was an internet company and there was huge investment in these companies. Billions of dollars. Huge investment in this company. Billions of dollars. But you know what happened? क्या सारी कंपनीज प्रॉफिटेबल बनेगी? ये पॉसिबल है? Will all the companies become profitable? Is it extremely important? Or is it entirely true? What does common sense dictate? Obviously not. Obviously not, sir. So friends, here lies the key. Billions of dollars were invested, but investors could not recover. Investors could not recover this. So again, there was a crisis that impacted the whole world. So friends, this is what it is all about. Information technology bubble and the burst associated with. So as you can see, an impact on one is going to impact the other as well. Okay. Now friends, we will talk about economic indicators. Economic indicators. Sir, what does indicator mean? See, how do we know? Your question should be, sir, how do we know that economy में expansion आने वाला है, depression आने वाला है, क्या आने वाला है? How do we know? Friends, the answer is economic indicators. They indicate the level of economic activity. They indicate whether it is now time for expansion, recession, etc. So friends, there are three types of indicators. Leading indicators, coincident indicators, lagging indicators. Leading indicators. Sir, what are these indicators? These are indicators which change before economic activity. Change before changes in economy. They change before, I will give you example, don't worry. They change before changes in economy. Before any economic change takes place, they change before that only. These are leading indicators. Coincident indicator means what, sir? These are the indicators that change with economy. As the economy changes, they also change. Sir, what are lagging indicators, sir? Sir, lagging indicators, they change after economic change. After economic change. They change after economic change. Sir, can you explain us? Can you give us an example? Yes, let me give you an example. Number one, leading indicators. I will give you an example both in English and in Hindi. मान लीजिए दोस्तों, आजकल सप्लायर्स के पास ऑर्डर बहुत आने लगे, इकोनॉमी में डिमांड बढ़ने लग गया, शेयर के प्राइसेस बढ़ने लगे. इसका मतलब क्या है? What does this mean? If the share prices are rising, if the suppliers are getting new orders, what do you think is happening in the economy? Yes, you are correct. It means economy is going to be in a phase of expansion or economy is going to grow. Yes or no? This is a leading indicator. Just because share prices are rising means you can see that the future is good. Just because there are new orders for the products, it means the future is good. Understood or not? This is a leading indicator. This is a leading indicator. This is a leading indicator? Yes or no, everybody? Yes or no, everybody? Come on. Leading indicator. Friends, next what? Next is coincident indicator. Leading indicator is before changes before the economy changes before the economy changes. Coincident indicator. Friends, it happens with the economic change. For example, suppose economy is growing. अरे बाबा, since economy is growing, तो कंट्री का नेशनल इनकम जीडीपी बढ़ेगा कि नहीं बढ़ेगा? बढ़ेगा ना, साथ साथ बढ़ेगा. There is no before after case here. It will grow together or it will fall together. That is coincident indicator. Understood, everybody? साथ साथ, at the same time, simultaneously. Leading is in advance. Leading is in advance. Acha. Then, sir, comes our third indicator. Then, sir, comes our third indicator. That is called lagging indicator. Lagging indicator. This is an indicator that changes after economic change. It changes after economic changes. This is an indicator that changes after economic changes. Friends, understood or not understood? This is our lagging indicator. It happens, yeah, it takes place after there are changes in the economy. After the economy has changed, after the economy has changed. Everybody, after the economy has changed. Hopefully, you all are crystal clear with this funda. Lagging. Sir, can you give us an example? Yes. Suppose after the economy has started falling down, after that you will see that unemployment levels are rising. इकोनॉमी जब गिरता है तब लोग अनएम्प्लॉयड होते हैं, उसके बाद यस और नो, दीज आर लैगिंग इंडिकेटर्स. दीज आर लैगिंग इंडिकेटर्स. गॉट इट, नॉट गॉट इट, एवरीबॉडी? Understood or not, everyone? Yes, sir, we understood this. Friends, now I have some questions, some MCQs for you. Yes, sir, please ask. Question 1. Alternate rise or fall in business activities is called A, business cycle, B, business depression, business change, or all of these. What say everyone? Alternate rise or fall in the business activities is called what? Come on, everybody. Very, very good. The answer is business cycle. Okay. Now, indicators that change before economic changes is called A, leading indicator, B, lagging indicator, C, coincident indicator, D, all of these. Indicators that change before economic changes. That change before economic. Come on, everyone. Very, very good. लीडिंग इंडिकेटर्स, क्या बात है, बहुत ही बढ़िया. लीडिंग इंडिकेटर्स. क्वेश्चन 3. Indicators that change with economic change. Same options. Same options. Come on. Answer me. Indicator that changes with economic change. So the answer is coincident indicator. Coincident indicator. Next question. Indicators that change after economic change. Same options. Come on. Very good, yeah. The answer is lagging indicator. So good. So far you all have been listening fine only. Now, no. Now friends, our next head is features of business cycle. What are we studying next? Friends, what we are studying next is features of business cycle. Hopefully all of you are ready for the same. Yes sir, please tell us the features. Very important. From features, institute will definitely give a question. This is my feeling. Everything is very important, just know this. But features, I personally feel there will be questions set from here. Very, very important. A. Business cycles are periodical. Means after some period they will come. But it is not fixed. But not fixed. Periodical means after some time they will change. Situation will change. But for how long situation is going to last, that is not fixed. What is not fixed? Regularity is not fixed. Key, for example, last year, let's say 5 years back, the expansion phase lasted for 6 months or 2 years. So it doesn't mean that this time also expansion will last 2 years. It can last for 5 years. Expansion can last for 6 months. Got it, everyone? The regularity, the time period, the length of it is not fixed. Though it is fixed, that expansion will come. It is fixed that depression will come. It is fixed that trough will come. But when and how long will it last? It's not fixed. That is why periodical in nature. So we can say length of each phase is not fixed. Length of each phase is not fixed. Length of each phase is not fixed everybody. Length of each phase is not fixed everybody. Length of each phase is not fixed everyone. Very good. Very, very good. Next feature. Sir, what is the next feature then? Friends, the next feature is disturbance in one sector or in one country. One sector can be telecom sector. But if one sector gets affected, it affects all other sectors. It originates in free market economies, which is under the control of government, which is under the control of market forces. Free market economy. You all have already studied it from me in the very first class itself. Introduction to economics, business economics. Acha. Then, fourth point is, though all sectors are impacted, each one has different magnitude of impact. मतलब अफेक्ट सारे सेक्टर्स को करेगा बिजनेस साइकिल, बट कितना जोर अफेक्ट करेगा वो अलग होगा. Example, there is a small cafe and there is a huge iron and steel industry. Now see, स्मॉल कैफे ने तो ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट कर नहीं रखा है. ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट किसने कर रखा है? आयरन एंड स्टील इंडस्ट्री ने. तो मोर इम्पैक्ट इट विल फील. The small cafe wala will not feel much impact. Yes, the small cafe will benefit or may lose, but the larger impact will be felt by the person who has invested more of the business cycle. Next, business cycles are a complex phenomenon. Business cycles are a complex phenomenon. Sir, what does it mean? It means complex phenomenon means their causes cannot exactly be predicted. Causes not exactly known or predictable. Like why it happened, why this expansion took place, why decline took place, it cannot be predicted. Because multiple hundreds of reasons are there. So you cannot say that because of this one reason, this happened. There can be multiple of reasons, magnitude of reasons. Yes, sir, we understood. So business cycles are a complex phenomenon. You cannot always estimate the cause. You cannot always know कि ये इसलिए हुआ, किस लिए हुआ. Multiple reasons can be there. You can guess some of them, but you cannot always cite all the reasons. Not possible at all. Acha. Then business cycle affects, it is saying everything. Everything. Meaning, sir, what does everything mean? It is a very general word to use. Yes, everything means, it is going to affect investment levels. It is going to affect savings. it is going to affect consumption. It is going to affect interest rates. It is going to affect trade. It is going to affect price levels. मतलब business cycle का effect सब जगह आप देखोगे. That is what it is saying. It affects everything. Next, they are contagious. Contagious is like coronavirus that will spread throughout the boundaries of the nation, countries, across countries. Contagious in nature. Sir, what does contagious means? Means it spreads across countries. It spreads across countries. मतलब for example, I'll tell you that मान लीजिए, for example, consider that what does contagious mean? Suppose USA example that I took. The impact on USA impacted whole world, I should write. That is what contagious means. Coronavirus in one country impacted the entire world. That is what contagious means. Got it, everyone? That spreads. And finally, it impacts society. Everybody is impacted because of it. You see, in coronavirus, everyone was impacted. Some in greater adversity, some in lesser adversity. But, everybody felt the impact of coronavirus. Yes or no? Yes. Everybody online, crystal clear, yes or no? Come on, friends. Length of each phase is not fixed. One of you are asking doubt. Length of each phase is not fixed. Please explain. Suppose expansion last time lasted 6 years. This time expansion phase may last for 2 years only. That is meaning. D. Though all sectors are impacted, each one has different magnitude. Matlab, I will explain it in English. There is a small cafe owner, okay? And there is a huge investment in iron and steel industry. Another person who is going to be impacted adversely more. This person who has invested more, because you will feel the burden longer, because you have invested larger amount. This small cafe wala is going to take rest for a while. Yes, he will also be at a loss. But the impact is more when you are heavily invested in something. These are the, different points, you see. Got it, everybody? Let's solve then some MCQs from our material. Abhi bhi some topic is left. We are going to discuss that. But first, let's discuss something from our material itself. Some MCQs rather. It will help us revise on nothing else. I will only ask those questions which we have taught. Next. Okay, let's go. Start, everybody. Answer what according to you is correct. The term business cycle refers to, what do you think? Ups and downs? No. Fluctuating levels of economic activity? Yes, it is correct. Decline? No. Not only decline? No. So the fluctuating level of economic activity is the correct answer. 1B. Next question, everyone. Significant decline in the general economic activity over a period of time is what? Business cycle, contraction phase, Recession phase or recovery phase? What do you say, everybody? Come on. Yes. Decline. Decline sunte hi contraction. Sir, can't it be recession also? Sir, can't it be recession also? Yes. But first, contraction is the better word to use, but contraction and recession mean the same thing. You people are correct, but better to use the word contraction. That is it. Huh? The trough of a business cycle occurs when what is hitting the lowest? When what hits the lowest point? Inflation hits the lowest, no? Money supply hits the lowest, no? Economic activity hits the lowest. Always economic activity point of view से बात करना है. You always talk from aggregate economic point of view. Aggregate economic activity point of view is the key thing to study every time. Is it clear, everybody? Next, the lowest point in the business cycle. The lowest point in the business cycle is referred to as what? Expansion? No. Boom? No. Peak? Nahi. Trough? Yes. Trough या depression? See, so whatever we have studied is coming in use. We are able to solve questions. हाँ या ना बताइए. Come on, everyone. Yes, sir, you are correct. So far you are correct, sir. Next, number 5 is interesting. A leading indicator is a variable that tends to move along with the level of economic activity. A variable that tends to move in advance of the economic activity. Yes. एडवांस ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी पहले मूव करेगा लीडिंग वेरिएबल. करेक्ट. सो 5B इज करेक्ट. अच्छा, अ वेरिएबल दैट टेंड्स टू मूव लेटर, बाद में. लैगिंग वेरिएबल. लैगिंग वेरिएबल. Very good question. Industries that are extremely sensitive. See, each industry is not equally impacted. जहां investment ज्यादा, durable good, but service has low investment. So ना, service will not be much impacted. Service not impacted. Non-durable goods is like vegetable market, so not impacted. But see, capital goods and durable goods, most investment, and so they will be most impacted. This is my secret trick. If they ask you who is extremely sensitive, अरे बाबा वो extremely sensitive होगा who has more amount of investment, या who has the maximum amount of investment. That person will be most sensitive. So friends, my answer is capital goods and durable goods sector. Come on, everybody. Acha, another question. A decrease in government spending. Very good question. You all tell me this answer. A very good question from some other chapter they have asked. If government spends less, मान लीजिए गवर्नमेंट स्पेंडिंग कम कर दी. मान लीजिए गवर्नमेंट ने स्पेंडिंग कम कर दी. अब अगर गवर्नमेंट ने स्पेंडिंग कम कर दी, अब अगर गवर्नमेंट ने स्पेंडिंग कम कर दी, समझिएगा बात को. इफ गवर्नमेंट हैज reduce the spending. If government has reduced the spending, everyone. If government has reduced the spending, everyone, what will happen? Come on, tell me. If government has reduced the, spending, what would happen? लोगों के हाथ में पैसा कम आएगा. लोगों के हाथ में पैसा कम आएगा. If government has reduced the spending. Yes or no? अगर गवर्नमेंट खर्च कम करेगा तो पीपल विल गेट लेस मनी, एंड इफ पीपल आर गेटिंग लेस मनी, डिमांड विल ऑब्वियसली शिफ्ट टू लेफ्ट. डिमांड कम हो जाएगा. अच्छा, which is not going to occur during an expansion? Consumer purchase of all type of goods tend to increase during expansion. Which of the following will not occur? This will occur. एम्प्लॉयमेंट इंक्रीजेस, हाँ सही है. बिजनेस प्रॉफिट्स टेंड टू इंक्रीज, हाँ. सो नन ऑफ द अबव, ऑल विल ऑकर, सभी ठीक है. डी इज द आंसर हियर. यस और नो एवरीवन? कम ऑन एवरीबॉडी, यस और नो? Which of the following best describes a typical business cycle? Which of the following best describes a typical business cycle? A typical business cycle. Come on, everyone. Tell me. Economic expansions are followed by contractions. हाँ ठीक है. Inflation is followed by rising income. No. Economic expansions are followed by growth. Economic expansion by contraction. Yes. Alternate expansion and contraction. That is the best definition. हाँ ये तीनों भी होता है, ऐसा नहीं है. But this is the best definition of business cycle, you see. So friends, 10 questions we have done. Friends, 10 questions we have done. Okay. So it seems to be going well only. Friends, as you had wanted, as all of you want always, you know, I'm allowing you 10 minutes break. Those who have doubts, please continue to ask the doubts. Doubts, ask. And those who want a 10 minutes break can take. Come on, everybody. Shoot your doubts now. Parshva, that is already uploaded. Yes, the notes have already been updated before the class only. Please check properly. Next doubt, please. Come on, everyone. Can peak be called as a maximum point of expansion? It can be called as. It can definitely be called. Remember, I will give you one word. Peak and trough. Write it down. Peak and trough are called turning points. Write it down. Turning points. One of our friends is asking, what is stagflation? अच्छा, क्या बात है? अच्छा क्वेश्चन आया. स्टैगफ्लेशन. स्टैगफ्लेशन का पहचान 3 चीजों से होता है. कभी भी 3 things are necessary for stagflation to take place. Number 1, there will be slow economic growth. Slow economic growth मतलब इकोनॉमी हौले हौले बढ़ रहा है. हाई अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, हाई इन्फ्लेशन. हाई अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, हाई इन्फ्लेशन. जब इकोनॉमी इस सिचुएशन में हो उसको बोलते हैं स्टैगफ्लेशन. Is this the last lecture? Bhumika is asking. Yes, Bhumika. Today's class is the last class on business economics for batch 7. Correct. Saloni is telling, sir, a large company would be in more capacity to absorb the losses. Right, Saloni? But we are discussing who faces the major losses. We are not talking about the impact. We are talking about the quantity of loss. Who faces more? The one who invests more. So they are more vulnerable. Bas. So Parshva, there has to be some issues there because I have uploaded. I upload all the notes just before the class or immediately after it. So there has to be some technical error going on because I had uploaded the notes. Even today, before starting this, you see, I will show it to you. Here is my written notes already ready. I will show it to you. Here it is. See, it is all ready. Expansion, contraction, all these indicators, features. This I have not even taught you, see, but it is written and already uploaded. So the notes have been uploaded in advance only. And what I have written is only what I'm going to write in the portal. What is a free market in economy? Please elaborate. Free market economy is a one, friends, where government interference is minimum, where private sectors are allowed to do business, consumers have freedom of choice in terms of what goods they wish to buy. That is a free market economy. Okay. Different business cycle in duration and intensity differ similar. Obviously, different business cycle differ in duration and intensity. How can they be same? I have answered this Asha 10 times. आप भी बुद्धि लगाओ कि एक्सपेंशन लास्ट टू लास्ट ईयर 6 महीने का था तो इस ईयर एक्सपेंशन 6 महीने का हो ये जरूरी है क्या? तो इट विल डिफर ना. Some tips for next 3 months. The tip is simple. Read the institute material carefully. Solve the mock papers. Read between the words. That is important. Yes, Vishal, they are indicators. Taxes, interest are also indicators. Correct. Guys, 2 more minutes and then we start. Yes, Vishal, they are indicators. Correct. Okay, let's go then. Let's continue our discussion then. Now, what we are discussing, friends, are the different causes of business cycles. Different causes. See, I told you Causes are not fixed. There are infinite causes in reality. Infinite. But in our syllabus, we are going to discuss some of them. In our syllabus, yes, we are going to discuss some of them, but in reality, there are infinite causes. Okay, let's go. So now, there are internal causes and external causes. Fluctuations in demand, fluctuation in investment, variation in spending. We will discuss each one of them as internal causes within the country. External is with outside the country that affect the country. Internal are within country. Hopefully you are writing this in your material as well. I will discuss each feature, don't worry, or each cause. Right. Now, friends, number one internal cause is effective demand. Internal cause of business cycle. This was stated by Keynes. Remember the name, Keynes. According to Keynes, fluctuation in activities are due to fluctuation in demand. Very important. Institute may give you 4 economists name and ask which economist told this. Remember, it is Keynes who spoke about aggregate demand being responsible for the business cycles. So now remember, friends. Remember, according to Keynes, fluctuation in economic activities. See, sometimes in the business world, economic activities go up. कभी-कभी economic activities बढ़ जाती है. They rise. They go for the betterment. Fluctuation in effective demand I am talking about. And sometimes what happens, friends? Economic activities goes down. All because of demand. I'll tell you why. According to Keynes, what did Keynes say? कि जब मैं खरीदूंगा, when I buy, then the producer will produce, and if the producer is producing, then producer will employ somebody, तब किसी को नौकरी मिलेगा. और जब किसी को नौकरी मिलेगा तब वापस से वो फ्यूचर में खरीदेगा कुछ, और जब वो खरीदेगा तभी तो इन्वेस्टमेंट होगा इकोनॉमी में, क्योंकि तभी तो कोई प्रोड्यूस करेगा. एंड सो डिमांड इज द रूट कॉज एज पर केन्स. डिड यू अंडरस्टैंड इट? यस और नो एवरीवन? डिमांड इज द रूट कॉज एज पर केन्स. As per Keynes. And all of you write down in the chat. Keynes dash aggregate demand. Keynes dash aggregate demand. Very good. Next. Fluctuation in investment. That is interesting. What does it say? Fluctuation in investment. What does it say? As per fluctuation in investment, friends, investment is responsible. इन्वेस्टमेंट इस बात के लिए जिम्मेदार है कि इकोनॉमी में फ्लक्चुएशंस आ रही है. कैसे? आप एंटरप्रेन्योर हो, मतलब बिजनेस पर्सन हो, आपको लगता है कि फ्यूचर में प्रॉफिट्स कम होगा, आपको लगता है, यू थिंक, सो यू विल इन्वेस्ट लेस, योर इन्वेस्टमेंट विल फॉल. नाउ इफ इन्वेस्टमेंट फॉल्स, प्रोडक्शन फॉल्स, सप्लाई फॉल्स, एंड सो एम्प्लॉयमेंट लेवल फॉल्स. बिकॉज आप लोगों को काम पे रखोगे नहीं फिर, अगर आपको प्रोडक्शन ही कम करना है या इन्वेस्टमेंट ही कम करना है तो. एंड दस अ लॉट ऑफ एंड द साइकिल बिगिंस एंड द इकोनॉमिक साइकिल बिगिंस. सो सम इकोनॉमिस्ट से इन्वेस्टमेंट इज द रूट कॉज बिहाइंड इकोनॉमिक साइकिल्स. Got it, everybody? Yes, sir, we understood it. Third one was government spending. Government spendings during war and after wars had destabilizing effects on economy. Sir, what is government spending? See, अगर government increases spending, suppose government builds a bridge, government builds a statue, government will give employment to people, लोगों को काम मिलेगा, employment बढ़ेगा तो income बढ़ेगा, income बढ़ेगा तो demand बढ़ेगा. So see, government spendings influences the economic cycles. मतलब एक चीज चालू होने की देरी है, सारा साइकिल चालू हो जाता है. That is government spending. Macroeconomic policy. Sir, example, suppose government reduces taxes. Government ने टैक्स रेट्स कम कर दिया. जैसे ही टैक्स कम हुआ, लोगों का डिस्पोजेबल इनकम बढ़ा. The disposable income of people increase. As soon as there is a tax rate reduction, in disposable income rises, and so spending rises. But if tax rate is increased, disposable income falls. So these are macroeconomic policies like tax rates, interest rates. अगर interest rates कम होगा, if interest rates are low, more people will be willing to take loans from the market, and so spending will rise. But if interest rates are high, lesser loan will be taken, and so lesser spending, and so lesser demand. Yes or no, everyone? So till now, what all we have studied? Till now, what all we have studied? सबसे पहले we studied about aggregate demand, where Keynes told aggregate demand spoken by Keynes. Number one. Number two, not necessarily in the order, government spending is another factor. Number three, investment levels. All these, number four, certain macroeconomic policies like tax cuts, interest rate changes, all these also impact. See, if tax rate rises, income level falls, disposable income level falls, and so government spending falls. And friends, if government spending falls, then automatically, if spending falls, means demand is falling. Understood? So there are multiple reasons, you see. Yes, sir. Sir, what is the next one? Next one is, you see, money supply. I will show it to you. Money supply. Hot trade. Monetary phenomenon. I will explain this. I will explain this in copy. I will write it and explain it. Money supply. This was explained by hot trade. So everybody write down money supply and put a dash and write hot trade. Another economist who spoke this. What did he speak? I will talk about this. But first of all, write money supply, dash देके hot trade. Okay, let's speak now. See, money supply. Suppose government increases money supply. Friends, if government increases money supply, what happens? People have more money to spend. And if people have more money to spend, the demand level rises. If demand rises, output rises. So see, our impact on one is causing the impact on everything else. Money supply by hot tray is a very important factor. Aggregate demand was by Keynes. Money supply was by hot tray. Aggregate demand concept was given by Keynes. Money supply funda was given by hot tray. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Come on. Yes, sir, clear. Money supply, very important factor. Interesting. Psychological factor. Psychological factor. This is interesting. This was stated by Pigot. Psychological factor. Psychological factor was stated by Pigot. As per Pigot, anticipation. Anticipation means रियल लाइफ में इकोनॉमी बढ़ा या घटा नहीं, आपको लगा, आपको मतलब एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को, इन्वेस्टर्स को लगा कि इकोनॉमी बढ़ेगा, तो उन लोगों ने आज इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ा दिया, सो इकोनॉमी में एक्सपेंशन आ गया. जस्ट बिकॉज यू थिंक इट इज गोइंग टू हैपन, इट इज टेकिंग प्लेस. दिस इज साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर. एंटिसिपेशन, आपको कभी कभी लगता है और जो लगता है वो हो जा रहा है. दैट इज साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर. यू आर एंटिसिपेटिंग कि भाई in the future economy is going to rise. So today you are investing more. But since you are investing more, others are also investing more. So reality mein economy rises. But why? Because you thought economy is going to rise. जो सोच रहे हो वो हो जा रहा है. You know, if you have seen that, how many of you have seen that television series, Scam 1992, I guess? How many of you have seen? Based on Mr. Harshad Mehta. What did you see here? If Harshad Mehta thinks, if Harshad thinks that this is going to rise, it is rising. Because others are also believing the same thing. If Harshad Mehta is telling that it's going to fall, it's falling. Because everybody thinks it's falling. Psychological factor. This was illustrated by Pigot. So, till now, 3 names have been taken. Keynes spoke about aggregate demand. I hope you all are writing this down. Now, what I have started writing, hot tray spoke about money supply, monetary supply. Keynes हो गया, hot tray हो गया, next कौन है? हाँ, Pigot. Pigot spoke about psychological factor, anticipation. Just because you think it's going to happen, it goes and happens. Finally, number 4. Number 4 was what? Schumpeter. Schumpeter is another interesting personality who told about innovation. He gave the innovation theory. So write down Schumpeter innovation theory. First write it down, then I will explain. Schumpeter's innovation theory. Schumpeter's innovation theory. Come on, we will talk about Schumpeter now. Schumpeter. Now we'll speak. अच्छा, पहले you all have noted this down क्या, ये 4 points? खाना बताइएगा प्लीज एवरीवन। केन्स एग्रीगेट डिमांड, हॉट्रे मनी सप्लाई, पीगो साइकोलॉजी, शम्पीटर इनोवेशन थ्योरी। कम ऑन एवरीवन। वेरी गुड। प्लीज लिसन केयरफुली। इनोवेशन आया, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी हैज कम इन, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी हैज कम इन, सो न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स विल बी मैन्युफैक्चर्ड, सो देयर विल बी न्यू डिमांड, एंड सो एवरीथिंग विल राइज। And since new production technology has come, people are required to operate the technology. I'll give you an example. Abhi AI आया, artificial intelligence. Now I can easily predict that just like in my generation, what happened was, when I say my generation means when I was growing up, in that 2000s phase, that time internet became a huge thing. Na? You see, after 10 to 20 years, AI will become a huge thing. When better models of AI come. So when AI comes, demand for people who understand AI will rise. And so again, economic cycle will fluctuate. Just like you see in the crypto case. So many invested in crypto and got lost, and therefore the economic cycle took a downturn. Do you remember the crypto chain case? Yes. And interestingly, there was another theory given by Nicholas Caldor. It is called the cobweb theory. Cobweb theory. Nicholas Calder. Nicholas Calder. So friends, Calder gave the famous cobweb theory. What does cobweb theory say? कॉबवेब थ्योरी से इसकी आज जो प्राइस है, अगर वो फ्लक्चुएट होते हैं तो प्रोडक्शन आज इंपैक्ट नहीं होगा, फ्यूचर में इंपैक्ट होगा, विल इंपैक्ट फ्यूचर प्रोडक्शन। I'll give you an example. Suppose price rises. So as a producer, what I do is I increase production 3 months later, thinking that price तो last time भी बढ़ा था, इस बार भी price फिर बढ़ जाएगा. So the past make me take action in the present. Past makes me take action in the present. That is Nicholas Calder's theory. Got it, everyone? Very good. So there are 5 theories we have spoken about. Let's revise it one after the other, okay? Keynes, according to Keynes, what factor is responsible? Aggregate demand. ठीक है? फिर hot tray, money supply. Next, innovation, Schumpeter. Schumpeter. Ego, psychology. Caldor, cobweb theory. Nicholas Caldor. See, I've written it 2 times for you to revise. Great. Very good. So friends, now we talk about some internal factors. Got it? Now friends, we speak about some internal factors we have done. Now we speak about some external factors. External factors. Suppose war. You all remember the First World War, 1914 to 17, how adversely it affected Germany. Treaty of Versailles. All of you have studied about it. How wars impact economies. 1939 to 43, Second World War. How it impacted this Japan. Now there was this movie also, Oppenheimer, showing how it impacted Japan. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. So war, and see, war is not good for anyone. If you think that one country has won the war, so it will benefit, no. Its citizens will also be affected because some one of them will die. Many or rather, why some? Many will die. Lot of money will be spent on war, which could have been spent on development. Today, Russia is fighting a war with Ukraine. Let's say Russia is winning this war. Still, the money that could have been invested for future, for people's future, for children's future, is being invested in guns and missiles. So war is always a lose-lose. It's never a win-win situation. Post-war reconstruction, as I told you. Like Japan, after this Hiroshima Nagasaki bombings, it had to bring back its economy. It took a lot of time and help. Then there is technology shock. Friends, then there is something called technology shock. What happens is, you are using a product, like suppose there was this famous Rellington's typewriter. Or in the olden days, in those yesteryears, those typewriters vanished out of markets as soon as personal computer and this email system came in. That's what I'm saying. Technology shock. So the entire typewriting business, all those old businesses that were made on typewriter. See today, print media condition kya? You will see today, very few of us today read newspapers in that physical copy. All of us prefer it in our mobile phones. The digital apps that we have now. Yes or no? The YouTube updates that we get constantly from different YouTubers about the current updates. Technology shock. All these changes, in the old times, our parents used to feel कि यार newspaper तो पढ़ लिए, they have studied the news, but some things they did not understand. But today there are YouTube, everything is explained, every current affair is there. So what happened to that print media? Gone. Technology shock. So many businesses are impacted. Natural factors you all understood, like COVID. Natural factor. Sometimes there could be more rain. Sometimes there could be drought. Drought means years of no rain that affects the agricultural crops adversely. Adverse effect on crops. Population growth. See, more the population, more the demand. So now, friends, one of our students have asked me to explain cobweb theory. Okay. Cobweb theory tells, dear student, I will explain it in Hindi. What language do you prefer? Ardhendu, which language do you prefer, English or Hindi? Because it is your question, I will explain it in the language you are more comfortable with. Okay. So see, cobweb theory tells us that आज जो प्राइस है, प्रेजेंट प्राइसेस, present price fluctuation is going to affect future production. Production taking place in future. That is what my dear friend cobweb theory says. Suppose I am a producer, okay? Suppose presently price of chips that I am selling increases. So I am excited. What I do is 3 months later, I increase the production of chips again, thinking that last time also it rose, so this time also it will rise. So see, now I am unable to increase production in the short period, but in the long period I am increasing production because I know that prices are going to rise. Why? Because in the past prices had increased. So present action affects future production. Present price changes affect future production. Present price changes affect future production. Hopefully it's clear now. Friends, now, what is the relevance of business cycle in business decision making? This is a general theory concept. I will still explain it to you. See, stock markets, let's talk about. If the prices are already high, it's very high, it's not very wise, I think, to invest because prices are already very high. Yes, if I expect it to rise further, that is a different story. But generally, it's not a good idea. But when prices are very low, it is a very good idea to invest then. When prices are very low, it is a great idea to invest then. Friends, that is the idea that I am explaining you. That is the funda I am trying to explain you. Hopefully, it's crystal clear, everybody. Got it, everyone? Yes. So that is what is, to take business decisions, whether you should increase production or you should reduce production, all depends on which stage of business cycle you are at. All depends on which stage of business cycle you are at. If you're doing pretty well, great. If you're not doing pretty well, then you should stop production. If the EU means economy, if the economy is doing well, increase production. People are going to buy. But if economy is not doing very well, it's better to keep the production under control. Why to increase production and increase wastage or losses? Yes, sir, we got it. So now, friends, some more MCQs. Let's solve. Now let's start from the back. Okay. Let's start from the back. First time we have done already. That's why my idea is to let's start from the back. This way we will have a much more broader coverage. Which of the following is the cause of business cycle? Demand, yes. Keynes told it. Investments, yes. Government spending, yes. So all these are the factors, that are going to affect or are the causes of business cycles. All of these factors. Next. According to Keynes, why is there a fluctuation in economic activities? Why? Fluctuation in economic activities are due to what factor? According to Keynes, remember the question is Keynes, aggregate demand. That's why I told you it's very important, you see. Question has come from here. Next question, let's see. Business cycle largely affects the agricultural sector. No, because investment is not much. Small employees, no, they are working for fixed salary, so hardly impacts. Yes. Business sector affects all sectors, but business sector in particular, because the business sector is characterized by huge investments. Impact sabko karega. Don't see that, sir, why are you telling that it will not affect agriculture? Arey Baba, it will affect agriculture. I'm not saying it isn't going to affect agriculture. It is going to affect agriculture. No doubt. But not so adversely, you see. Business cycle generally originate in free market economy. Question is, what is a free market economy? Question is, what is a free market economy? Economy where government is in possession of assets. Economy where private firm controls asset. Free market economy is where private firm control asset. You forgot it is called capitalist economy. First class of business economics we studied it. First class of business economics. Remember? Sir, we do remember you teaching us this. Which economic indicator is required to predict the turning point? All of them are important to predict the turning point. All are economic indicators actually. So everything will predict the turning point. Economic indicators are one-stop solution, no. Indicator showing movement, yes. Some activities which predict the direction of economy, very good. Activities may be rise in employment levels, GDP, etc. Which predict the direction of economy. That's correct. Innovations. Oh my God. Who gave the innovation theory? See, Hotray spoke about money supply. Keynes talk about demand. Smith was the father of economics, so nothing related here. Schumpeter, Joseph Schumpeter. Which of the following is not an example of coincident indicator? अच्छा, they are asking coincident indicator क्या नहीं है? Coincident indicator क्या नहीं है? इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन हाँ साथ साथ है, इन्फ्लेशन साथ साथ है, रिटेल सेल्स, न्यू ऑर्डर्स, यस, दिस इज अ लीडिंग इंडिकेटर. आई टोल्ड यू लीडिंग इंडिकेटर. न्यू ऑर्डर्स आर लीडिंग इंडिकेटर्स. GDP is lagging indicator. Inflation is also somehow lagging indicator. But new order is a leading indicator. And so it is not a coincident indicator. Because the question was coincident indicator nahi ho. Inflation is also somewhat coincident. The different phases of business cycle. Achha, the question they have asked is from features. Do not have the same length and severity, yes. Point number 2 and 3 we have studied. Expansion phase always lasts more than 10 years. Bakwas, no. Last many years, no. No. Do not have the same length and severity. We have studied this in point 2 or 3, I guess. Next one. Economic recession shares all of these characteristics. We are talking about recession now. That recession shares all of these characteristics except what is what they are asking. Recession. Remember the question is from recession. Fall in level of investment, yes. Income decline, yes. Investor confidence affected, yes. Increase in price of input due to increased demand. No, 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 no. There is decreased demand, no increased demand. There is decreased demand after all. No increased demand. Got it, everyone? Which of the following is not a characteristic of business cycle? Not a characteristic of business cycle. Business cycle have serious consequences on the well-being of society. Acha, not a characteristic of business cycle they are asking. Acha, this has a serious consequence. It is last point we did. So it is a characteristic. Occur periodically, correct. Have uniform characteristic and causes, wrong. They are complex phenomenon rather. We have studied they are complex phenomenon. They don't have the same characteristic, same causes. Causes are infinite and cannot be predicted with exact certainty. एकदम उल्टा लिखा है आप. Very good. Friends, is it clear so far? Next one. The most probable outcome of an increase in money supply is. Acha, when money supply increases, what will happen? Money supply rises, interest rate will not rise, interest rate will fall. Interest rate will fall, so people will take more loans, so investment will rise, and when people can take loans, they will want demand more. So this is correct. अरे बाबा मनी सप्लाई बढ़ेगा तो इंटरेस्ट रेट फॉल होगा. Everybody write down in the chat box. Money supply increases, interest rate falls. Write it down, everyone. I'm waiting for you all to write it down. Come on, everybody. Very good. Next, moving on. Peak and trough of the business cycle are known collectively as, I had told you in the break also I revised, turning point. Because at peak it turns downwards and in trough it turns upwards. Hence they are called turning points. Correct? Correct? When aggregate economic activity is declining, look at the question they're asking. When aggregate economic activity is declining, जब इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी कम हो रहा है तो इकोनॉमी किस फेज में? When activity is declining, come on yaar, very easy question. Obviously contraction. Leading economic indicator. Acha, question is about leading ones. Okay, question is about leading ones. They forecast economic fluctuation because they happen before. Next, what are the four phases? Come on. The question they're asking is from the four phases. The four phases. Come on, everybody. Expansion, peak, contraction, trough. Sahi hai. First one is correct. During recession, acha, they are talking about recession where everything is good. Unemployment rate will rise, yes, and output will fall. Ekdam sahi. First one is only correct. Unemployment rises, na? And this falls, output level falls. So it's correct. Yes or no, everybody? Come on, everyone. Now I'll make you write some summary notes. Yes, Alok, you can complete. Great. So see, now, summary notes. Summary notes. Number one, if they ask alternate expansion and contraction, it is business cycle. Number two, if money supply increases, interest rate will fall. And if interest rate falls, demand will rise. More people will take loans and investment in the economy will also rise. Next point. Next point. Rise in economic activity is called expansion. Fall in economic activity is called as contraction. Number 4, 5 names. Now let me ask you the names. Why I am writing this down for the third time, you see. Come on. Now you are telling me the answer. अभी तक तो learn हो गया होगा. Aggregate demand is an internal cause. Who said this? Come on. Yes, John Maynard Keynes. J.M. Keynes. Keynesian economics, you see, is a very interesting portion. The next batch onwards. The next batch means from June exam onwards, macroeconomics has also become a part of syllabus. From June, you all know what will happen. From June, what I have heard and what I have studied from institute's material or institute site. Now what you all have? You have microeconomics, that is business economics, and you have BCK, business and commercial knowledge. So business and commercial knowledge will no more exist. And instead of that, macroeconomics is going to exist, which is yet another very interesting and easy portion. Yes. Aggregate demand, Keynes. Correct, everyone. Very good. Then who spoke about, come on, tell me. Money supply. Who spoke about money supply, everyone? Yes, you people are correct. Yes, you people are correct in your answer. The heading of money supply was spoken by Hot Tray. Correct. Next, answer me. Which of the economists spoke about psychology? कौन सा इकोनॉमिस्ट साइकोलॉजी को बोला कि अफेक्ट करता है मार्केट को? साइकोलॉजी. यस, यू आर राइट. पीगो. करेक्ट. Which economist spoke about innovation? Very good. I can see some correct answers. Schumpeter, very good. Cobweb theory was stated by which economist? Nicholas Kaldor. Correct. Kaldor. Correct. Then, friends, we studied about 3 types of indicators in this class today. I hope all of you are making summary notes, huh? There are 3 kinds of indicators, everyone. Leading indicators, coincident indicators, lagging indicators. Leading indicators are the ones that change in advance of economic activity. Coincident indicators are the ones that change along with economic activity. Along with economic activity. Simultaneous, basically. Lagging indicators are the ones that change after the economic activities have taken place or after the economy has shown the turn. After economic turns. Now, 6 point. There are two turning points in a business cycle. What are the name of the two turning points? Come on, tell me. Very good. I got some correct answer from Vinalika, Vidisha, Pratima, Varshwa, Om. Very good. Yes, you all are correct. Peak is the topmost point and trough is you all see the bottommost point. Trough is the bottommost point. Acha. Seventh question. Extreme form of recession is what? Is called what? Right, sir. So extreme form of recession is called, yes, you all are correct, depression. So friends, with this, we complete our summary as well. Okay. Summary is also over. And the good news is syllabus is also over. Now what you all need to keep in mind is point number one. If any of our classes, video classes you have not done, first of all, you complete your video lectures. Second point, read between the lines as I speak in at the end of each class. Institute's material, ICAI math. Point number two. Third point is solve your mock papers. Solve your mock papers. And number fourth is finally, don't worry. Don't worry. Just do all the above three. You will not need to worry. You all will do well. I wish you well, guys. And with this, we complete our session today. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you very much. Yes.